caught a frog, dudes. That's gross. That's gross. What the flip? What the flip? I've never seen anything like that. Come on, buddy. He's strong. Dude, I just caught a frog. That's a first. Look at that. That is a first. That is the grossest thing I've ever seen. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Joe Simpson. It's Friday and I wanted to do a quick parking lot tackle talk with you guys. I've got a decent weekend I think planned ahead. I'm pretty busy, but I think I'm going to be able to get out and do a little fishing. So while I'm in my truck and I have a little time to talk to you guys, I wanted to go over some new baits and tackles that I just received from Tackle Warehouse. I guess we could call it an unboxing, even though it's already been unboxed and looked at. But some pretty cool stuff, and I'll explain to you how I got to some of these baits. I've been watching some TV lately with some bass fishing channels and watching these guys do some different fishing styles, and I saw a few baits that were really interesting to me. This one guy was down in Georgia and he was fishing around some cypress trees, and he was standing in a kayak and he was throwing some very interesting baits. So the first one I want to bring out here is, of course, it's a buried one. I don't know if you guys have heard of these, but they're called Culprit Water Dragons. And basically these are lizards with a twist, in my opinion. This color is called Junebug. Junebug seems to be real popular lately, so I thought I'd get one. And you can see this bait has a lot of appendages, a lot of things going on, and it actually has like a little dragony head on it. It's scented. It's pretty decent plastic. It's your typical culprit plastic, greasy feeling stuff. So these culprit worms, he was fishing. He was using a special hook, not really special, it was a wide gap screw lock hook. So I have some number 3s and some number 4s, and I'm going to try those. And his argument for using the wide gap weighted hook was that instead of these baits being on a Texas rig and kind of falling down into the grass, he was able to kind of fish it and swim it and bring it through the grass, which was more effective for his style at the time. So I think I'm going to try that. And I like having a little bit of extra weight, but you could take a Texas rig and pin the bullet weight if you wanted to, or you could do it different ways. But anyway, that's the first thing, the Culprit Dragon. So you might want to check into those. This is the pumpkin color. It's green pumpkin. Pretty solid, not much translucence to it. You can see, you know, a little bit of light coming through the backside of this, but yeah, good looking baits. To me, they're just glorified lizards. You know, I've seen some pretty good lizards by the same company, so yeah, we'll see how they work. And I'm really not sure what's going on with the Eeliminator lure. They also call them the Big O. Now, originally I bought this lure and they were called Eeliminators by this company, and they were sent to me by Mystery Tackle Box. They were sent to me by one of those guys, and I used them and I liked them a lot. Have you guys ever seen these? You've seen me use them for sure, I think. They're you know, then they were bought, I thought they were bought out by Mystery Tackle Box, and then Carl's Baits took it over and they called it the Big O. But you can also still get this Eeliminator lure. It's basically like a tadpole shaped body, and boy, they stink, and they've got a curly tail, so it's got a real nice swimmy feature. So this thing could either mimic a mouse, a frog, some type of water pond creature, but they're very effective, and I get a lot of hits on these, so I love them. The other color that I got, I think I had 2. There's 2 sizes. I don't remember the exact inches, but there is a big and a small. Let's see if I can get these to focus in for you. Boop. Yeah, so you can see this is the bigger one here and the smaller one there. I'd say you'd be a 3/0 here. This is a 3.5 inch, and you'd probably be on the bigger one. You'd probably be somewhere around the 4/0 hook. You could probably still do a 3/0, but I Texas rig these and let them kind of sink and run into the water, but you can also put a weighted hook and swim those things. These are very versatile baits, and they're a nice bite for the fish, and the hookup seems to be really good with them too. So those I love. Those are just, you know, reinforcements of the already loved bait that I have. The other thing that I picked up are these rage tails. These are pretty basic. You know, with all the craze of the Guggen baits and these expensive baits and things that are coming out, you know, we often forget about the basic stuff that works. And these are called Magnum Bug, and they're just big. I think it's a 4-inch size, 4.5. And this one's kind of cool. It's called the Okeechobee Craw, but it's got kind of a green pumpkin on one side and a little bit of a June bug on the other. So that's kind of cool. It might be good, kind of crossing both bridges. You got to tear the appendages to make them swim right. But you get 6 in a pack, and I love these. I swim these all the time. So when me and Pat are out and we're doing creature baits, I like to swim these because I just have confidence. I've caught fish with them. They come packaged nicely. Again, they're by Rage Tail Strike King. It's called the Magnum Bug, and I really like them a lot. And they hold up, I think, better than the Guggen baits. Now, I'm not saying they catch more fish, because I know those little Guggen baits catch a lot of fish. But these do real well. And if you want a really good solid bait, creature bug to throw around, that's awesome. Now, I do have, what do you think here? I thought I had some. I did buy some Guggens. I don't have them with me now. Okay, so here's something I bought that I need your help on, because I really don't know. I can't get my thinking in my head straight around this. So you have a ChatterBait, right? And it's got a blade on the front of a jig head with a hook, and you put like a swim bait on there, and it's got a trailer and grass and whatever. But here I'm sitting with this thing, and it's called a swim jig, vibrating swim jig. And I don't really know what the difference is. Now, this is a package that comes from Pepper Custom Baits. So what you get in this package is you get the jig head, a hook, a blade, and a swim bait, and a treble hook. So for a little bit, I was trying to figure out like what the heck was going on with this package. Like, how was I supposed to put it all together? And I don't think you're supposed to put it all together. It's an either or. Let me explain. I think I figured out the difference between a ChatterBait and a vibrating swim jig. The blade of a ChatterBait has a lot more angularity than this. This looks like it's going to have a little bit of a softer roll as it's going through the water. The head and the grass all looks the same, so that doesn't look different to me either. Usually when you have a ChatterBait, you've got this head, you've got a hook that comes out of the back, and you usually put the swim bait on it, and everything stays rigid and straight. But you'll notice this one has this thing just flopping around. This is very simply connected with a split ring, and you just have basically a hook, a split ring, and you feed that bait on there, and when this thing goes through the water, I'm sure it straightens out. But you're going to have a lot more up and down and undulation and movement, and I think that's the difference between a ChatterBait and a swim jig. You're going to have a lot more of that loosey-goosey movement, and hopefully it'll get around structure and get up and over things and in and out of grass. And I got this color because I thought it represented the bluegill and the perch colors that are in my ponds and my waterways, so I'm going to try this one out. Maybe moving towards the winter, I'll try something that's a little bit more shad representation. But it comes in a package like this, which is really cool. And I was wondering, like, what's the treble hook for? As I was looking online, watching some of these guys talk about these baits and how to rig them, you'll notice this treble hook comes with a split ring as well. So I think all you do when you don't want to use something bigger like the swim bait, you can replace it with the treble hook buried up in that grass. And it shortens the bait, it makes it smaller, but it gives it something to look for, and it has those feathers that'll stick out the back. So I don't think it's made to be used with the swim bait. I think it's made to be swapped out with the swim bait in different scenarios of fishing. So I'll try it both ways and see which one works. But pretty good product. Again, that's Pepper Custom Baits. Check that out. But the one thing, and the coolest thing, I think, that I've picked up this week, have you ever heard of these? This is called the Damiki frog. This is really cool. In looking at this Damiki frog, it's got a pretty fat 2.5-inch body. It's got these kicker legs, right? And you're saying, well, what's the big deal? There's all kinds of little skitter frogs and little rubber frogs you bring across the water. This is not all that impressive. Well, what makes this Damiki frog special is that it floats. This thing has air pockets in the sides. And when you throw this out in the water, it actually floats in the water. So you could bring it along, have it kicking its legs, and then stop it, and it'll float. The only problem I have is I don't have the right hooks for it. So I have to get those. They say that an owner extra wide gap 6/0 hook is the way to go. And basically you come down through the nose, turn it in, bring it out, and then the hook part, the hoop part sticks off the top of the nose, and then the hook comes way down under and up the back and comes up this back section right here. And they say you get a much better hookup ratio with this frog when you use it that way. It's got a good set of eyes, really nice profile, very froggy and fleshy and toad looking. This thing is cool. I hope it works. I've seen some guys fish with it with moderate success online. It seems like when the bass go after it, they just literally try to cream the darn thing. But I haven't seen a ton of like giant hookups with it. So I'm a little bit curious as to how that's going to work out. But anyway, that's my tackle unboxing today from Tackle Warehouse. Some things I picked up. I'm excited about the Dragons. I have full confidence in that. Vibrating swim jig, no problem. I think that thing's going to work great. The Big O's, they're perfect. I love them. I just love those baits. Really, that's it. As soon as I get those hooks that are right for the Damiki frog, we'll do a one-off special and I'll take that thing out and see if I can catch some fish. But in the meantime, you guys hang loose. I'll see you on the water. Hopefully this weekend will be good. I'll talk to you soon. Later. So I've been watching some bass oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Take a look at this thing. I dropped it.